New Zealand will provide a charter flight to evacuate New Zealanders and possibly Australians stranded in the Chinese city of Wuhan. Let's go live now to our New Zealand correspondent, Jackson Williams. Jackson, this flight is subject to Chinese government approval.
It is, and New Zealand's Foreign Minister Winston Peters admits it's a very complex operation. He says that the Ardern government is working to have this flight depart the Chinese city of Wuhan as soon as possible. But ultimately, as you rightly point out, it's up to Chinese authorities who will have the final say. It comes after Air New Zealand agreed to charter an aircraft to evacuate New Zealanders out of Wuhan. They'll have the aircraft will have capacity for roughly 300 passengers. We know there are currently approximately 50, just in excess of 50 New Zealanders currently in the Chinese city of Wuhan. The New Zealand government is currently working to ascertain the exact level of demand for this flight, working to determine if there are perhaps more New Zealanders in that city who have not registered with safe travel. The Foreign Minister, Winston Peters, says New Zealand will be offering any additional seats to Pacific Island and Australian citizens as a matter of priority. He says that officials are currently developing procedures for pre-departure health screening of passengers, infection control in flight and isolation of all passengers arriving in New Zealand for up to 2 weeks. So authorities here in New Zealand are yet to finalise quarantine plans for those individuals who will travel on this flight. It's important to note at the moment, Danica, that there are no confirmed cases of coronavirus in New Zealand, and importantly, I guess, for any Australians who end up travelling on this charter flight operated by Air New Zealand, it will mean they will avoid having to spend time in Christmas Island, because this flight will travel direct from the Chinese city of Wuhan here to New Zealand, and those on board will then spend time in quarantine, up to 14 days in quarantine here on New Zealand soil.